Hello, Angel in Miami, Florida. Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you as I cut clear non-prescription fashion lenses for one of the coolest Prada frames out there. It is the 270S. S stands for Sun, color NAI 0, or that could be OA7, in the 54i size. I'm going to take everything out of the original packaging as Prada sends it to me. Your Italian leather Prada case, or the box, now the Italian leather Prada case, of course the card of authenticity in many languages, and then when we open it up, one of the most famous sunglasses in the world, and of course let's not forget your Prada cleaning cloth that comes with it. So one of the most famous frames in the world comes with a little plastic sleeve on the left temple to protect the temples from rubbing together while they are being shipped from Italy. And of course I'm going to put all the manufacturer's original packaging in there. And again, this is the Prada, hopefully the camera will pick this up, 270S in the 54i size in the color NAI 0A7, which has a black front and tortoise temples. Now that is also known as English tortoise or Tokyo tortoise because of the higher contrast than the classic darker tortoise. Each of them saying Prada on each side. These are the Baroque temples, B-A-R-O-U-Q-E, I believe, from the classical music period. And I'm going to pop out your original gradient demo lenses. We pop these out and put the clear non-prescription fashion lenses. So I'm going to put your frame into the tracing element of my edger and hit start. Little stylus is going to pop up and it's going to go around and trace the inside of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine Prada frame and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses, or in this case non-prescription fashion lenses. This is a prime example because my receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase whether they are prescription or not. So this is the shape of the lens that is going to pop up here. It's only magnified. I'm going to minify it while I work on it. I'm going to go ahead, you know what, in this case let's go ahead and leave everything small. This, had these be prescription, I would put in your pupillary distance and possibly an optical center height. That is not relevant because these are non-prescription. I'm going to take them out 0, which is plano. I'm going to take the lenses out of the protective sleeve. I'm going to place the first one on the platform. Let's take the second one out. Now, in my videos you've seen me attach these. This is what's called a block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. This is what's going to hold it in place inside the edger. So I need to apply 2 double-sided adhesive stickers on here. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick this onto the first block, place that on the platform. Let's do the same thing for the second block. I'm going to pull the paper away to make the second side of the double-sided sticker adhesive sticker ready. The little silver button on the back is a magnet. That's what's going to hold it in place into the chuck. Oh, I'm sorry, into the, well, that is a chuck, the arm of the blocker. Now, that is outlined. You can see the lens as I move it around. I'm going to hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the right lens. This could really be the left lens since it doesn't matter, but out of habit we'll make that one the right. This will now be the left. Pull the sticker off. Make sure the magnet is lined up and into the arm. Hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work. This costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy their own. Then you can cut your own lenses at home. You won't need this guy because it is now 8:17. We have game 5. Or was it game 4? No, game 5 of the NBA Finals on tonight, and I got to get home to see that. So let's go ahead and begin. Hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is the actual mechanism that will cut the lenses. This is the cutting wheel. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material. This wheel in the center, that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. Now this is where I'll place the lens for while it's cutting. This is why the magnet, that silver button, is going to do its job a second time tonight. It's going to hold it in place into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it chuck. That's right, you thought you were going to get away without hearing that bad joke. But nope, free bad jokes with every pair of glasses purchased. So I'm going to wake up the computer. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic or Trivex, I would select that, but we're going to stay with polycarb. I do not want to polish the edge of your lens because it won't be seen. I'm not going to put a bevel on the front surface, the convex surface of the lens. I'm only going to put one on the rear concave surface of the lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. I do want to bring the bevel down a little bit. I know from experience this has a very deep bevel, so I'm going to take it down just a little bit in advance, and if need be, if it doesn't want to fit into the frame easily, I'll take a little bit more off then too. So the lens is now going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around tracing the shape. And then the old carpenter saying, measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point in the circumference to know exactly where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. Now, of course, with this being non-prescription fashion lenses, you're not going to have any thickness, but I do cut strong lenses all day long, and that does become more critical. The light you see flickering in the background is water running. It's there to catch the optical sawdust that will eventually come from the lens as it touches down onto the cutting wheel. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic and high-index plastic and Trivex cut wet. Now, meaning that water is sprayed onto the lens while it is cutting. You will see water sprayed onto this lens for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle, just to wash away the optical debris that you see beginning to form on the lens. Now, as I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. These lenses are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun there in Miami. Of course, you get your own personal sun to follow you around there. There's no way you'd escape it, but this is permanent and will never need to be reapplied. Now, it just double-checked its own place where to place that bevel. If you notice, your lens was completely flat just a moment ago, just like a nickel. If I were to take it out, it could stand up on the counter on its own. Now it's getting the knife-like bevel placed onto the edge. Very dull knife like myself, but knife-like nonetheless. More like V-shaped bevel, we shall say. So water has begun spraying on the lens to clean everything off, which tells me it's in the last 20 seconds of this cycle. Now, in just a moment from the foreground, you will see a lever move into the field of view. At the end of that lever on the far right is a spinning wheel, something you would find at the end of a Dremel tool. That's applying the safety bevel to the rear surface of the lens. Again, as I mentioned, I do cut very strong prescriptions for free when you buy the frame, but there is the rare chance that the back of the lens protrudes from the back of the frame and come into contact with the cheek. That is why that is being polished smooth, so you have no irritations whatsoever. Of course, you're about to see that you have no thickness whatsoever. I'm going to take the lens out of the chuck. I do want to dry the lens off. I'm going to actually just remove a little bit of that optical debris there. I'm going to tuck the lens in at the outside corner. Push down at the nose, it snaps right in. I'm going to go ahead and start cutting the left lens. We're going to flip that over to L. Put the lens into the chuck and hit start. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts. And then the lens is going to be traced by the 2 white styluses again, just like before, making sure the lens is large enough to go around to fit into the frame, and as always, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness. And of course, in this frame you're going to have no edge thickness whatsoever. So this is no longer needed. I'm going to go ahead and take the block off. Now, had this been prescription, I would come down here to the lensometer, put it in to verify the prescription, but because these are non-prescription fashion lenses, that is not needed. Now, one thing I will do is, when you get these in the mail, and of course free shipping anywhere in the United States, but when you get these in the mail, there is a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there is an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and I am no exception. I'll show you in just a moment. I'm part of that 80%, but because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. So just stop by your local optical shop and just tell them if it's too loose or too tight or too crooked. It only takes about 30 seconds to a minute to adjust a pair of glasses. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. And when I say wobble, I am part of that 80%. When I take mine off, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. Now I'm wearing the Ray-Ban 2132 New Wayfarer in color 789 in the blue orange to match my blue orange that I have on today, and of course the sneakers, orange sneakers with the blue shoelaces. Put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing. Press down, there is no wobble. I close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. And then the temples are not askew. Check the tension on each hinge, and that is perfect. So in just a moment, the left lens will be done. Water is spraying on it. The safety bevel is being applied to the back surface of the lens. I will open this door with my mind. Like that, I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. It just takes me a couple hours, but I can do it. In Miami, I can do it quicker. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab this frame. I'm going to tuck the lens in at the outside corner. Use my thumbs. I press down at the nose. It snaps right in. Take off this block. Pull the sticker off. Let me give it a final cleaning. Now, not only will I provide you with instructions on how to care for your frame and your lenses so they will last you for years, but I will also be giving you instructions on how to care for the premium microfiber cleaning cloth that I will be providing to you, as well as your Prada cleaning cloth that is inside the case and the case itself, so it too can last you for years. No other seller on the internet is doing that, so I am told by my customers. I also provide a photo request to have your picture on the website. Angel, I would love to have you modeling these for me on the website. You don't have to, but I'm just going to ask. So that's what your lenses look like. By the way, I field test every cleaning cloth before I ship it to you to make sure that it works. So when you get these in the mail and there's a wrinkle in there, you know that this one works. So, sorry, I always laugh at that. So that's what your lenses look like. So Angel in Miami, I appreciate you purchasing the Prada 270 in the 54 eye size in the color NAI. Oh, what does that say? 087. So if anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the contact me button on the website. And again, thank you for watching, and hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.